Welcome back. If you've been following this series, you've already mastered the basics and you've leveled up with intermediate logic. Today, we go further. We're going to apply everything you've learned to 3 real-world business scenarios. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build SharePoint rules that dynamically route the right notification to the right person, watch deadlines automatically, and stack together into a self-managing system that covers an entire workflow lifecycle. Let's push SharePoint rules to the limit. The first mistake most people make with SharePoint rules is hard coding names. They type John Doe at company.com into the recipient field and walk away. 6 months later, John is in a different role, notifications are going to the wrong person, and nobody knows why. The fix is simple. Never type a name. Always select a column. Here's the scenario. You manage a project's document library where Documents has a project lead column, the person responsible for that specific project. You want the right lead notified the moment a document assigned to them is reviewed. On your list or library, click Automate, Rules, and then Create a Rule. Select the A file or metadata is modified. Then, in the Choose a Column dropdown, select Approval and set the condition dropdown to Is One Of, and then select Approved, and then Rejected. Now, in the email address dropdown, look at the suggestions. Instead of typing a name, select Project Lead and then Create. That's it. Now, the moment of their document review is complete, whoever is listed as the project lead on that specific document gets the notification. It doesn't matter if the lead changes from project to project or month to month. The rule reads the metadata and routes accordingly. This is how you manage a list or library with hundreds of items without creating hundreds of rules. Missed deadlines are expensive. Chasing approvals manually is inefficient. Here's how you build a rule that watches the clock so you don't have to. The scenario: your team manages a document approval library. Each document has an approval due date column and a current approver column, the person responsible for signing off at this stage. Click Automate, Rules, then Create a Rule. This time, select the A Date Approaches option. In the Days Before field, enter 3. This tells SharePoint to start watching 3 days before the target date. In the Choose a Column dropdown, select Due Date. In the Send Email to field, select the Current Approver column. Click Create. Think about what just happened. SharePoint is now scanning your library, looking for documents where the approval due date is exactly 3 days away. When it finds one, it reads the current approver column on that specific row and sends the reminder directly to that person. You didn't send that reminder. You didn't check a calendar. You didn't follow up. The metadata did the work. This is what it means to move from reactive to proactive. You're no longer responding to missed deadlines. You're preventing them. This is where everything comes together. A single SharePoint rule can only respond to one trigger. But rules don't have to work alone. When you stack them intentionally, each one owning a specific moment in a workflow, you build a system that manages an entire lifecycle automatically. For this example, we're using the IT Issue Tracker, and the great news is that SharePoint has a built-in template for this list, so you can be up and running in minutes. With the list set up, here's the scenario. An IT issue comes in, gets triaged, escalates if it gets stuck, gets resolved, and the person who logged it needs to know it's closed. We're going to build 4 rules that each own a specific moment in that journey. Rule 1. General Intake Notification. When any new issue is logged, the assigned technician needs to know immediately so they can begin triage, regardless of how critical the issue is. Click Automate, Rules, Create a Rule. Select A New Item is Created. In the Send Email to field, select the Assign To column. Click Create. Every new item, regardless of priority, notifies the technician responsible for it the moment it lands in the list. No item goes unnoticed. Rule 2. High priority escalation at intake. But not every ticket is equal. When something comes in marked high or critical, the system lead, the subject matter expert for that technology, needs to know right away, not after triage. Create a second rule. Select A New Item is Created. Now click Always and select If to make the rule conditional. Choose the priority column, set the condition to is one of, and select critical and high. In the Send Email to field, select the System Lead column. Click Create. Notice what we just did. We used the is one of technique from our intermediate video, now applied at intake to filter by severity. Critical and high issues immediately loop in the system lead alongside the assigned technician. Medium and low priority items go to the technician only, keeping the system lead's inbox clean and focused on what actually needs their attention. 2 rules. 1 for every ticket. 1 for the tickets that can't wait. Rule 3. Blocked issue escalation. When a technician marks an issue as blocked, meaning they're stuck and need help, that can't sit quietly in a list. It needs to escalate immediately. Create a new rule. Select "A item is modified." Choose the status column, set the condition to is, and select blocked. In the Send Email to field, select System Lead. Click Create. The moment a technician flags they're stuck, the system lead is automatically in the loop. No manual escalation email. The status change does it. Rule 4. Resolution confirmation. Finally, when a ticket is resolved, the person who originally logged the issue needs to know. Not the technician, not the manager, the end user who submitted the request in the first place. Create a new rule. Select "An item is modified." Choose status, set the condition to is one of, and select completed and by design. In the Send Email to field, select the Created By column, the built-in SharePoint column that captures who originally created the item. Click Create. The moment a technician closes a ticket, the end user automatically receives a resolution notification. No manual follow-up email, no support portal login required. The metadata closes the loop. We've officially pushed SharePoint rules as far as they can go, and they are genuinely powerful at this level. They're fast to set up. They require no license beyond Microsoft 365. They need no code. And when your metadata is clean and your columns are well structured, they route with real precision. But even here, at the most advanced level, we've hit a ceiling. And it's important to be honest about where that ceiling is. First, there's no delivery confirmation. When Rule 2 sends that escalation, you have no log, no audit trail, no proof it was delivered or even received. In a professional IT environment, that's a real gap. Second, you have minimal options to customize the email. Every notification arrives as a generic SharePoint system message. No company branding, no formatted summary of the issue, no priority flag in the subject line. It looks like a system email because that's all it can be. Third, rules can't pull data from other lists or other organizational data. Our blocked issue escalation rule, for example, can't query the technician's manager from your organization directory and automatically include them on the notification. What you see on that row is all the rule can see. Fourth, SharePoint rules can't handle complex business logic or multiple conditions. Consider our Rule 2. When a critical or high priority issue comes in, the system lead is notified immediately. But what if that system lead has an out-of-office reply? The rule has no way to detect that. The notification is sent, but it may sit unread for days with no fallback. That's not a rules problem, that's a Power Automate problem. These aren't complaints, they're design constraints. SharePoint rules were built for speed and simplicity, and for everything we've covered in this series, they've delivered. But when your organization needs logging, branding, multiple conditions, or complex logic, you've graduated to a problem that requires Power Automate. If this series has helped you work smarter in Microsoft 365, there's more where that came from. Visit powerstudio365.com and let's keep building. Build faster, build smarter, build with Power Studio 365.